Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a zombie horror film, RAVENOUS. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a foggy shot in a forest with nothing but a single chair in view. Suddenly, we are taken to a racetrack where a racer is doing exercise on his girlfriend rather than on the track field. A strange woman is seen standing and staring at the couple, so the racer asks if he can help her. However, this woman turns out to be an ugly zombie, and out of jealousy, she attacks the racer's sexy girlfriend after letting out a shriek. She bites the girlfriend's throat and rips off her juicy flesh, while the cars continue to race in the background. The zombie invasion soon takes over the entirety of Quebec, and then we are taken to a road that has just witnessed a car accident. Suddenly, an old man named Oldie is seen running fast away from some fierce zombies, even though he's old. The zombies seem to communicate via loud shrieks, just like the zombie at the racetrack. Now we also meet a young boy with no name, sitting all by himself. He walks away from a grave after petting a horse. And then, a couple of men named Bonin and Baldy crack some silly jokes about bad doctors. The men leave in their truck, and it turns out that they are next to a burnt body while cracking these jokes. Elsewhere, a savage lady, short-named Savage, parks her car and plays some music to calm her nerves. After this, she proceeds to murder a zombie that charges at her after letting out a shriek. Savage takes a moment to regain her breath, but spots a little zombie child staring at her from the window. She doesn't want to take any further risks, so she drives away from the scene. Now as Baldy and Bonin drive down the road, Baldy notices something strange in the forest and goes back to check up on what he just saw. It turns out that there's a hairy mother and her daughter standing in the middle of the forest, and Baldy seems to recognize them, possibly because they are obviously hairy. He walks up to the suspicious two with a shotgun to check if they are still alive. Bowman doesn't like the look of this, so he asks Baldy to come back immediately. Just as Baldy is about to return, he hears some chicken screaming, so he goes to check it out. However, Bowman notices that the mother has suddenly gone missing, thus proving she is actually a zombie. Baldy spots a boy hiding in the woods, but then the zombie mother appears and attacks him, without flexing her muscles as a warning. Baldy manages to kill his zombified but still hairy wife, but not before he's getting bitten. It so happens that there's an entire army of zombie kids standing behind Baldy, and this was simply a trap to lure him in. Sensing imminent danger, Baldy rushes back to the truck and Bonin drives away in a state of panic. Now Oldie gives up and is ready to be killed by the zombies, but No Name shows up and kills them. Oldie reveals a dead body next to him and tells No Name that he has just killed his wife, who was also infected as a zombie. Meanwhile, Bonin and Baldy have a brief chat about past lovers, and they also discuss going to Disneyland because this is Baldy's last conversation. After an emotional chat, Bonin bids farewell to Baldy and ends his bald life. After that, he continues driving the truck. Later, Savage runs into a couple of old grannies. They both order Savage to strip down to her smelly underwear so that they can check her body for any bite marks. Once they are sure of Savage being safe, the grannies sit down and have a beer with her. Elsewhere, Bonin comes back to his hunting camp and meets an old soldier who asks him about Baldy. Bonin reveals what happened with the zombie mother, so the old soldier simply chops down Baldy's body into onion pieces in the back of the truck, possibly used for firewood. After this, Bonin learns that a lady named Babe has been tied to his bed because she has a bite mark on her hand, although she claims that it's actually kissed by a dog. Realizing that he will have to keep a watch on the infected Babe, Bowman has a chat with her and talks about what she's going to experience as the zombie infection sets in. He paints a grim picture for Babe, but she eventually states that her ears have been plugged, so she can't hear what he said. This pisses off Bonin, so he walks away from her, despite her desperate cries for help. Meanwhile, the old soldier keeps watch outside the camp, but gets jump-scared by a zombie and is eaten up, including his smelly part. Bowman hears his cries of anguish and decides to free Babe so that they can escape in his truck. They are suddenly attacked by the old soldier, who is now a zombie, so they drive away immediately. On their way, the couple spots multiple other zombies chasing after them, but Babe is intrigued by one particular zombie, who is calm in the middle of the chaos. She is suddenly attacked by the soldier zombie, and a brief muscle wrestling follows. Bonin tells Babe to shoot the zombie with his shotgun, and she eventually blows his brains away. Now, the couple reaches a camp, but are jump-scared by a silly officer, who is simply playing a prank on them. Officer Silly takes a look at Babe and appreciates her body. After that, he starts talking a bunch of gibberish by calling Bonin a prodigal son. Babe is confused by this, but Bonin just tells her that Officer Silly is delusional. Meanwhile, Oldie tells No Name what it feels like for him to lose his wife and family, but No Name remains unaffected by his words. He even goes on to kill an infected woman in cold blood, despite her looking at him straight in the eyes. Now, Babe and Bonin reach a farm and decide to check out the shed area. Babe doesn't want to spend more time there, so she decides to go inside the farmhouse and look for food with an axe for protection. However, both Bonin and Babe hear some suspicious noises, so they follow the respective sounds. Babe lands up next to a closed room, but decides against opening it at the very last moment. She puts her ear next to the door to check for any noises, and opens it only after confirming that there shouldn't be any zombie behind it. Babe spots a shadow running away from her and goes after it, but learns that it's only a little girl who is in hiding. She takes the girl to the shed where they find Bonin, who simply walks away from them. It turns out that the noises he was hearing were actually coming from a box of cute kittens. Babe and Bonin decide to take the girl along with them, almost as if she is their adopted daughter. However, Bonin makes it weird for the little girl with his odd jokes. Elsewhere, Bonin hears the granny dude over the radio, and we learn that they know each other. The team finds a hideout spot where Bonin refreshes himself with some coffee at night while the others sleep. The next day, Babe relieves herself in the middle of the bushes, but she suddenly hears a zombie shrieking, so she hides under the bushes. A tense sequence follows as Babe tries her best to protect her sexy body. However, the zombie traces her body smell and attacks her without flexing its zombified muscles. Things are about to go from bad to worse, but luckily, Bonin shows up just in time to kill the zombie and save Babe. Despite this, Babe has a meltdown and goes on a rant, while Bonin and the girl watch on from the truck. As they're about to leave, Officer Silly jump scares the team once more, and it pisses off Bonin. Later, Bonin spots a mysterious statue created using chairs and other random items. A group of zombies are just standing around this statue, almost as if it's part of their religion. Bonin tries to make his way out of there, but gets spotted by a zombie that lets out a loud but chicken-like shriek. Luckily, he's able to make it back to the truck and escape before the zombie army catches up to him. Time passes by, and Bonin finally meets the grannies. He tells them everything that he has experienced and gets slapped for delivering the bad news. Now, everyone sits down to discuss what has prompted the zombies to get so aggressive, and they reason that it's because they need more food to power their zombified muscles. Babe figures that the government will only help people living in the city. Savage maintains that they must get out of here, otherwise the zombies will find them, as this cabin is on their invasion route. The team quickly brings out a map and figures a way out of the countryside and into the city. Savage spots the bite mark on Babe, but is reassured that it's only a dog kiss. Later, Bonin lies down in bed with Babe and the girl. Babe tries to talk about her family, but Bonin cracks another joke. She scolds him by saying he keeps changing the topic whenever she mentions something serious. However, Bonin simply says that he doesn't care because he's always been the black sheep of his own family. Later, Babe spots Bonin whispering to the grannies about something and demands to know what it's about. The grannies reveal that they are worried about Babe's bite mark and they can't believe her dog story because nobody saw what actually happened. Suddenly, the team hears some suspicious noises coming from outside, so Bonin goes to check it out. He eventually hears the zombie shrieks, so he rushes back to the cabin and alerts the others. There's no time to plan, so everyone takes their bags and runs their smelly body away. The zombies go crazy as they chase the team after their smell, and an intense sequence follows. Bonin shoots down some of the zombies, but Babe gets attacked by a female zombie in the middle of the chaos. The girl saves her life by stabbing the sexy zombie, and then Savage saves them both from another zombie. After a long, arduous night, the team comes back together safe and sound, and Babe hugs Bonin for his services. Later, the team washes up next to the river, and they come across Oldie and No Name. Bonin raises his gun at them because he identifies that Oldie has been bitten. However, Oldie and No Name leave the team alone and walk away. Now, Babe is given and she puts it to immediate use when a zombie jump scares the team. However, it just turns out to be Officer Silly, trying another bullshit prank. Babe feels guilty for what she's done, but the others just tell her that Officer Silly was bitten in order to ease her conscience. Now, the team reaches the zombie chair statue and tries to hide. One of the zombies spots the girl and is about to attack her, but Oldie blocks its view and keeps her safe. He takes her back to the team and makes a formal introduction to them, along with No Name. The grannies distribute food at night, and the girl starts bonding with No Name. The next day, the team carries on through the forest, but No Name notices that Oldie isn't there, so he goes looking for him. Savage notices this, so she follows him, while the others carry on into a bar. There, they find a note, signed by who is believed to be the last remaining survivor in the bar. The note mentions that the nearby town is filled with zombies, so they shouldn't bother to go there, but rather check out Route 113. Later, No Name finds a skeleton next to a tree and gets attacked by Oldie, who has now turned into a zombie, but still appears old. At the same time, one of the grannies is attacked by a fat zombie and gets bitten. She manages to shoot the fat zombie and free herself. After that, the other granny arrives with Bonin and finishes the job. Meanwhile, Savage saves No Name by killing zombie Oldie, but he is also shown to have been bitten. Savage tells him about how she had spent her entire life trying to live as a good wife, but now she doesn't care about anything. This prompts No Name to finally reveal his true name to her, but Savage kills No Name before he turns into a no-named zombie. She then goes to wash her dirty face and starts to cry from overwhelming emotion, with tears in her crocodile eyes. Now, the granny has a final word with her fellow and shoots her down in a painful scene. The team's survivors gather together now, and they find an underground bunker room. They take refuge here for a bit and continue on their journey later. A fog sets in, and the team hears a baby crying, so they nervously follow the sounds. Savage spots a zombie woman on the ground who is simply playing with an annoying toy baby. After this, the team finds the chair statue, which has become massive now. They look further ahead and notice an entire army of zombies. Savage eventually kills the zombie woman, but her shrieks alert all the nearby zombies. Chaos ensues as the zombies chase after the team and consume the granny's dying muscles. Savage decides to play the sacrificial lamb and takes on all the zombies in a brutal and bloody fight scene. Meanwhile, Bowman leads the zombies away from Babe and the girl by screaming at them. She gets bitten and tries her best to kill as many zombies as she can, but it's of no use as she's heavily outnumbered. Now, Babe leaves the girl inside the bunker zone and tries to distract the zombies with her musical instrument. Despite this, one of the zombies finds the girl and is about to kill her. Luckily, Babe distracts the zombie with her musical instrument and drives it away from the girl. After all the drama, the girl checks the bunker room and finds Bonin in the middle of tons of dead zombies. However, he is also bitten and is waiting for the right time to kill himself. Bonin tells the girl to go find Babe, and he bids her farewell with another joke. The girl eventually finds Babe's musical instrument and decides to take it with her as she continues her journey solo. Suddenly, she finds a race car speeding toward her. It turns out to be the same racer from the beginning of the film, and he strikes up an instant friendship with the girl. Now both of them carry on with their survival trip, trying to find a safe haven. The movie ends with a shot of Bonin and Babe staring at the stair statue, which also has a parrot now. This implies that they have become zombies as well. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.